Good weekend, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are on Friday evening. It is the 4th of November, 2022, the day before I win the lottery and will get my $1.5 billion. And I have made myself a promise I will do Monday updates for you if I win. I'll be happy. I may not look the same. I'll probably be smiling, but that's how it's going to work. I have my 2 tickets and I am ready to go. I hope, by the way, I'm sorry you're going to lose. All right. Let's talk about today. These boards are filling in yet, and I want to get this done because I got to go celebrate with my wife our winnings. To make a long story short, today was one of these days where you come out and you're wondering, gee, the jobs, oh, there you go, the board's filled in. The jobs data comes out, 260,000 jobs. It's big. They're only looking for 193 to 200,000. But they revised up September by 50 some odd thousand as well. So it was even worse. We're getting more jobs in September. And there's several ways to look at numbers. You know, you were in a classroom. Is it bullish? Is it bearish? Well, one school of thought is, whoa, it's 260,000. That is really a bullish number. They're not breaking this. The other school of thought, you know, we fell 50,000. When's the last time we lost 50,000 jobs week to week as you're looking at month to month in this case, not the unemployment? Wow, you got to go back a couple of years. All right. So it's the first reasonable decline we've had. That's the first thing. Is that bullish or bearish? Well, the market liked it. Before the market opened at 8:30 a.m. Central Time, 9:30 Eastern Time, you were already up in the Dow near 200 points. All the indices were higher. Why? Because China had taken over the mood of the morning. China is making moves that might mean that this strict zero-tolerance COVID policy is going to be modified. They're allowing foreigners now to take the Pfizer vaccine there. When they come in, they're not penalizing the plane if somebody gets off the plane and has COVID. They were fining the airline companies. There's changes. And tomorrow they might even make a statement about what they're going to do for the Chinese people there. So the hopes came out that this is it. Copper shot up 26 cents. I think it's the biggest one-day gain in copper in percentages. I think probably 2010, something like that. So gold up $45, silver up $1.30, and the dollar crumbles, fell big. It fell 200 points. That's a huge move in it as currencies rally. This can all unravel if China disappoints the market tomorrow, Saturday morning. I don't know what they'll do or not do, nor do I really care, in the sense that I have no control over it. I care because obviously, I'd like to see them opening their economy. I'd like to be certain that supply chains don't get hurt. I've been bashing them for this, and I'd like to be able to stop. They're draconian in their method. It's time to stop. You're the second largest economy in the world. Act like it. And of course, they'll say, what do I know? And they're right. I don't have the right to tell them that. I admit it. Okay, I apologize if I'm offending anybody. It's not what I'm intending to do. They are a great nation. You may not agree with that statement, but folks, they got a lot more people than everybody. They're going to be a powerhouse. We may not like how communism works in America. That doesn't mean we have to stop it or hate it or anything like that. Have an open mind. It's that simple. But we'd like them to work in a way that we can work with them. It does nobody any good that we're always at each other's throats. I really believe what I'm saying with that. Okay. So I looked at it, and what did I think? I said, okay, the first shoe is dropped. We have a strong jobs number. I don't care the percentage it fell. We have a strong jobs number. We added 260,000 jobs. The second shoe's this week, the CPI. I keep looking around me. I'm not seeing prices fall on the elements that I need. Okay, I am seeing, and so are you, certain things happening. If you go in the store, I was at Target yesterday. I see items on sale all over the place. I was in the housewares, needed some stuff I like to cook and all. Everything was down 20% right off the bat. Sale, sale, sale. All the Christmas goods are out already, and prices are falling there. I like that. I look at rents, and you and I are reading how the housing market is getting hurt and how prices aren't, well, let me say it the right way, how homes aren't selling. I don't see prices falling except on the West Coast, where they got super overinflated. Chicago, where I live, we didn't go up like that. If you want to sell a home, you probably have to drop it a little bit. 5% might be a number, 3% if that's it, from your inflated price to begin with. Rents are exorbitant here. Try to rent a place here. I can only tell you it's tight and it's going to stay that way. Taxes are going up everywhere, and as they go up, the rent goes up. The landlord's got to pay it. He can either be the most wonderful Santa Claus in the world and say, oh, that doesn't matter, so my taxes went up. Sure. You watch what's going to happen with all that because everybody's taxes reset now. All right. So I want to continue with PayPal. Look at how this has gotten hit. So PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, all these companies you got to worry about. Stripe. And the reason is people start pulling in and don't spend as much. This is what you're getting. Were they overinflated? Probably, all of them. I remember at the very, 4 years ago in our office, guys were asking me as we were coming out of the pandemic, what do you want to buy? And another broker that I respect a lot and we both looked at each other. We said Visa, MasterCard, all these, because people are going to load up and that's what they're going to buy. And obviously, it was the right call. And when the pandemic went like this, and now we're talking recession, what don't I want to own? These are the stocks I don't want at this point in time. I mean, some of it's just so logical. Well, you can see you're in a downtrend. You're under the 18-day average, but when you hit a Bollinger Band, and you haven't hit it since March, right? Actually back here, probably February or so. This is a zone where now the easy money's out of it. You may not agree with me, and that's fine, but first time you hit it, I think the pros are going to be covering those positions. Momentum down, you're into your objective. I'd be very cautious right here. Now, KBE, the bank index, all right. You're just stuck in sideways action. I want you to realize that since August, almost every single week, you had one here that you didn't hit it. You have hit the 18-week average. It's very hard to make something out of nothing. XLI, the industrial sector, is alive and well. This is a bullish chart. Higher lows, higher highs. Where was the battleground? When you get to a 200-week average, pay attention. I don't care if it's on the upside or downside. It's a 4-year moving average on a weekly chart, right? It's going to attract chartists, guys that know what they're doing, quote unquote, whatever that means, by the way. They will pay attention and say, it was an old support zone. You revisit old support zones, sometimes they're new support zones. Get up on the top. Old resistance zone might be a new resistance zone. Same thinking. And that's what's happened. So until you get back under this low, why not higher? I don't see anything to stop it. First zone, the 100-week average. It too is a very important one. And always the Bollinger Band. Energy sector is running. Now, notice what it's doing. It is 1 week under, 1 week over, back and forth with the Bollinger Band. I love it. It's basically hugging it. It's not 5 days in a row over it. You're pushing it out. It's orderly. This is a very controlled move. And obviously, if we hear tomorrow that China's relaxing controls, they're going to need more oil. They're going to need more copper. They're going to need more of everything as they go with it. So you keep your eye on this. But do you buy a Bollinger Band? If you've taken my enhanced course, you have the answer to that. Freeport. We were covering it last week, so why not finish it? I put it in here. I removed this week uranium. And by the way, nobody's writing me on lithium. I'm asking you people to help me. We need a lithium, if one's out there that has any real volume, ETF. I don't even know where to find it. Higher lows, higher highs, fighting right now against this number. Now, if you can get a close over 93.09, you open the door to wherever the Bollinger Band is. Now, remember, that number is going to fall. Each week now, if you take a look, here's the week before. It was 96.33, then 97.29. It fell almost 90 some odd cents here, and it just fell about the same. It's probably going to fall now, let's say 60 to 80 cents is my guess, okay? So it's going to probably be around the 94.5 level that the resistance will come in. I'm just doing this off the top of my head using an exponential thing that I teach myself. In gold, I know everybody's bullish gold. I'm not. Why are you bullish here? You've got big resistance, 158.49 to 158.94, all right? Is there a reason to be bearish anymore? Now you rung the bell. No. You're out of your downtrend. You're not in an uptrend. You got to fight that battle to prove that you got something else going. Close over all that, then we look at it, but you still wouldn't have a higher low, higher high. You have a lower low, higher high, and that's all you can have even if you soar next week. What about GDX? I'm watching CNBC today. They're pickers at the end of the day, Carter and all the guys coming in, they like this. I don't see what they like, but again, they're them, I'm me. I see a sideways market right here, and away you go. And they were bringing up the fact that the gold miners are under consolidation, mergers, acquisitions. Does that look bullish to you? If they're right, wherever that Bollinger Band is all I'm looking for. Tonight it's $3 away, but it's going to drop come next week. So I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm saying I don't see what they're saying. ARK, I don't understand why everybody's enamored with this woman's picks. Does this look to you friendly? God bless you. You got an embedded reading that's bearish as can be. Market's coming down. Your indicator will be, in my opinion, you'll go back to neutral, the 18-week average if you lose the embedded reading. But what looks good about this chart? I'm not picking on Miss Wood. I think she's a bright woman. Obviously, she's had her day in the sun as well, and that's not negative. She's not having a very good Sunday right now. This has been a disaster year, one that she'll never forget. That is for certain. And the people that stay with her are sort of like Donald Trump followers. No matter what the man does, he's got his followers. No matter what she does, that's the analogy, she's going to have her followers. They can have their bad times, they'll missteps, they come back from it. That is the thinking with this, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying it's been a terrible investment for this year. In Apple, what did we talk about during the week? When you see a failure on the Apple 14 and they're cutting production because people don't want them, I'm talking the Apple, the new version of the old 13, okay? Not the one I bought. I love the new 14 Pro, and I didn't buy that crazy Max. I bought the other size. It's a huge difference off mine. I had a Telegraph one. I think I had an iPhone 5. You know, I'm teasing you, but you understand what I'm saying? It's really a better phone. But there's nothing friendly here. You're down for the week, 11%. For the week, you're down 11%. What's so good about that? Tesla not having a good day. And Mr. Musk is going to have nothing but problems. He sent out letters today to, half the staff at Twitter, complaining, rightly so, about loss of advertising. But I don't know that he has the right under whatever contracts people had with Tesla to just fire everybody that way. But as an owner, he should have the right. But is he offering severance? I heard that he is a couple of months to some people, not to others. I don't know enough about it to answer. But people will think on Tesla, okay, the problem is he's going to be distracted. He can't pay attention. And I'd agree with that. Meta, still falling apart. What's the right number? This market just in a search, it's a bloodbath. What's the right number? Does anybody, number one, believe in their meta universe? That's probably the biggest problem. I, for one, do not. I don't see myself wearing those goggles walking around my house and going into my aquariums or whatever things I've got. And I don't know anybody that does. That's my biggest problem. I don't know one person that does. And I know you're going to tell me I'm too old. How would I know that? And I get it. And by the way, it's a good argument. TLT, still riding the lower band. There's nothing bullish here. The Fed isn't going to, this reversal isn't happening. It will happen, but it's not happening now. You got a strong jobs number. What if you get a strong CPI number? Larry Summers thinks, and he's a fairly bright guy, he thinks you might have to go to 6% on interest rates, a full point more than everybody thinks. You know what that'll do to the 2-10-year? Probably put it out to 100 points, because the 30 and the 10s won't jump with the 2s. They're the ones that'll feel the pressure if in fact that is the case. And we've talked about that over and over here. So I'm through with that. So that's where we're at. And don't leave. I want to give you this for free. For free. I want to give you my Morning Spider ETF if you haven't tried it, my Morning Futures if you haven't tried it, my written commentaries complete if you haven't tried it, the charting software free if you haven't tried it, the QT Mobile if you haven't tried it, my special report, and I'm doing more of them this week if you haven't tried them. What do you have to lose? Not too much. I'm going to show you entry points, exit, walk you through trade by trade in the morning in the videos. My writings are done in a way that I think you'll love. I write it so I can read my whole newsletter in 2 to 3 minutes and get what I'm talking about. It's all bullet points. This is what I'm saying, blah, blah. I'm not going to write papers. The best one I liked was Dennis Gartman, and he used to be on my show. But he'd write every night a novel. And then I realized he's copy pasting, because you can't every night write the same thing and write what he did. Bright guy, he would do things, he's short of gold in euro or this or that. I mean, it was crazy, but he's very good, okay? And he was a model for me of what I didn't want to do. I didn't want to spend my life writing that newsletter, and believe me, that was his life, all right? And now he runs what, Akron College, runs their investments thing. He's quite a bright guy. In any case, how I look at it is, I've got your time for 2 to 3 minutes. I'll make my points. Take a look at it. It's free to you. I don't want a credit card. I don't want any of that. You got to go to our website under iraepstein.com, free offer, sign up for what you want there, or you can follow my finger up here. And remember, when I win the lottery, and it's probably tomorrow, a big day in my life, I will be here Monday with you, okay? So I'm sorry you lost. I'm Ira Epstein. Have a great weekend.